off. Back the camera. Make noise. So you wonder what I hooked. Goobers to be. Okay. Well, I know we are streaming right now, and I might not even upload that first video, but one thing I do want to do is ask folks on this video if should I be posting every live stream I do as a fresh video, because that might get, quite frankly, boring. Watching somebody just sit here and craft in the early hours of the morning for an hour, 2 hours could just get extremely boring. Should I download these and do a highlights video? What would be the optimal thing to do? So leave a comment on this one and give me a sense. Do you want to see everything? Do we want to do just highlights? That'll take longer because I'll have to download stuff and edit it. But give me an idea. So at any rate, this is another prototype concept that I am working on. This is based off of, some of you may know the company Spirit Halloween. I believe last year they made a fortune teller globe that had a blue opalescent swirl in it, and this one has the same type of material. I wanted to do this in a witch bottle, but the material has to stay agitated. It is absolutely gloriously looking when it's there, but it must remain agitated or else it sinks to the bottom. So the challenge for this one will be to find a way to keep the liquid agitated the entire time, to keep the cool swirling effect. And the other problem is that if you illuminate it from the inside, it is completely occluded by that metallic opalescent material. So that was another concept. I do not think that the opalescent stuff is doable based solely on that factor. You just won't be able to see any kind of lights that are in there. So, but I'm going to test out some of these other lighting devices right now. And I'm going to explore the capabilities of the one that I already worked on. These are funky little gizmos, in that whole bunches of them have remote controls, which I find very amusing. But with that previous colored witch bottle, it gives me the opportunity to pick any of these configurations, any color, which I'm going to go grab the thing in a second. I have this variant here, which is white, but this gives me a number of luminosity options in terms of pulses, flashes, things like that. And I'm going to give those a brief test right now because I was going to do that anyways, and may as well do it online since I'm online. So we're going to test these out and see which one, or ones, is the optimal. We're also going to test these guys. These are waterproofed LEDs that go ideally into normally with sane people under some sort of pool or pond or something like that during a party, and you can control them with remotes as well. I, on the other hand, will be putting them at the bottom of the wine bottles to beam my light up, ideally. So I'm going to give this a test, because this one I'm very, very keen to see. I misordered my batteries. I thought I was ordering AAAs. Instead I was ordering AA's. And consequently, this might not, my screwdriver might be a tad too big. And my improvisational screwdriver might not work at all. I believe that is the smallest size for this model. Yes, it is. Unfortunate. I'm ordering more AAAs. They'll be in Friday, but I really wanted to see this tonight. Let's see if I can get creative or dangerous, whichever one comes first. Do we have a tiny little screwdriver somewhere? And if not a tiny screwdriver, then a tiny thing that can be made to act like a screwdriver. That's a 3-pound hammer. Granted, that would probably work, but I'd like this thing to be usable later on. It's a conundrum. Extremely annoying conundrum. Well, that is a kick in the pants. I can't find anything anywhere, and my super tiny screwdriver for this kind of work is at my classroom. No, one last option. Be right back. Excellent. Yes, precious. The screwdriver for the wood burner works as this. And I need my bottle. Which is mostly dry. Oh wow, that's good. That highlighted the areas that need touch up. One there. Good. Good. A little drying time did wonders. Alright. Let's play with light. First, I attach the actual device with a piece of Velcro to the bottom of the bottle, because obviously one day we're going to want to use new batteries in there. There's no point in building your batteries into your project. Alright, so red, orange, yellow, brighter yellow. The green spectrum seems most vibrant because the fluid does very well with green. The original concept is that is highlighter fluid, so it should be going through and causing luminosity of the fluid by the most ultraviolet type lights. There we go. Alright, I get a strobe of that color. That's very nice. Give me green, give me strobe. I like that. Let's do a fade. I assume this is going to go through, yeah, this is going to go through all the color patterns. Granted, from what I'm seeing on the YouTube, it is just going straight. It's almost looking pure white. Let me hit the main kitchen light and see if we can't do two things. Check this camera's low light and get you guys a better color concept. The light should be going out on my screen. Well, that still looks absolutely white. Let's kill our remaining light source. Apart from, obviously, the laptop. Not laptop, the tablet. I'm willing to bet this is going to stay pretty much white to you guys, with only slight differences in hue. Let's remove the tablet from the scene. And turn the tablet lights off. Right, so color overload is a feature of this camera. And it actually does pretty well in low light, I gotta say. I'll say it's a pretty cool picture there. Okay. Yeah, you guys are not going to be able to get the same color saturation that I'm getting, just because it is just a flat out, straight up brightness as far as the camera is concerned. Alright. Well, now I know that. Colored light to this camera looks like colored light. There's nothing for it. Let's get this place back up to brightness. Hi, cat. Yeah, you need to move. Come on. Good girl. There's one thing I believe about tutorial lighting. It is lights, lights, lights. Cool. And off. Well, that'll give us some excellent control on Halloween night, come hell or high water. Stick that back on the Velcro. That's in place. Good prop. Gonna need about 10 more of them. God dang it. Alright, let's take a look at these. These are the other toys I have to test, but their virtue is not colors. Their virtue is strobe capacity. That'll be an eye ache. Alright, that setting could be quite good. That's number 2 on the remote. Let's mark it. That's 1. Let's mark it. It's going to make my thing look like Christmas lights. That's going to make it look like Christmas lights. You know, I'm morbidly curious. I'm just going to mark that. I think this is going to be a perfect setting. Should be a fade, fade, fade. Yep. That's going to be a default excellent. This is also a default fade excellent. And then 8 is simply on. Can we go brighter? No. But we can go dimmer. Good. Off. Excellent. That's that set. I'm going to test it with probably one of these shake-up bottles. We'll see how it goes. Again, I think that metallic substance in there is going to completely occlude the light. But there's a chance I could just leave it in there, and then if that bottle gets shaken up, you can just leave it that way. No harm, no foul. I really want to test this underwater unit. Let's pop the batteries out of this pumpkin light. It's okay, pumpkin light. You're gonna get new batteries. Just not showing up until Thursday. It's okay. It's still up. Oh, they are in there. Hello, buddy. Oh, the battery is putting up a good fight, but it's just no match. No match for a clay carving tool. Can't win. There it is. Quite frankly, I'm most interested in these because these represent probably the easiest use of putting them in and out of action. This is just slide the unit underneath. It's already turned on. It's completely waterproof, so I never have to worry about leaving the lights out in the rain and then throw it on the bottle. I mean, for a wine bottle, that's going to be perfect. For anything else, though, it's not going to work for shite. And I have completely forgotten which remotes are its remotes. Which is fine, because it seems to work with the exact same remote as the other one I tried. That is phenomenal. Well, that just made my life easy. As I suspected, that stuff completely and utterly occludes the light. And that's why I got off. we don't seem to want to do off. Right, so the color change signals are correct, but the on-off signals are somehow different. This is one of their remotes. And this is the thing we're going to head off at the pass, because this is going to be one of those, which remote is it? Until I get these all Velcroed onto their correct ones. This is the Cirque waterproof. So don't forget. This one is the square string. Okay. Let's have a little bit of, pardon, fun testing. Let's put this somewhere where it is not going to spill all over the place. I don't know if that actually exists or not. It's always going to spill. There was no changing its fate. What's going to happen? It's in the cards. No chance. All right. Oh, God. That's a terrible sound. Now, great lighting experiment. Step 1, find the end. There it is. Step 2, pray that this winding actually works. I think this way is going to be the best way. Yep. These string white lights, just like any Christmassy type light, they love to get tangled. I want to make sure that when I'm feeding it into my bottle, it is not getting tangled. So come hell or high water, I'll have an orange glow here. But let's see if the fairy lights can defeat the occlusion caused by the metal powder additive. Let's get an idea here. Right now the light string is just in a go through all the modes mode. There is quite a bit more string to the light than I anticipated. Despite my previous warning about tangling it, it's tangling on me. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't be a screw up. Here, watch me be a screw up. set this to optimal. Now just set it to on. All lights on. As I mentioned before, I do not like the fairy lights, but I cannot dispute their brightness over just a shine up from the bottom of a bottle. I think that on Halloween night, considering most people are just briefly passing through my haunt anyway, nobody's going to stop and go, oh my god, you used fairy lights. What kind of despicable fiend are you? Couldn't you think of anything better? Okay, there we go. They're all in there, except for this top one, which I'm gonna leave out for sanity reasons. Let's give it a shake up and get the factor going. All that metal dust swirling around. Yeah, it's the best it could conceivably be, honestly. I still don't like the white. That is easily fixable with a couple of drops of red food coloring, though. That will turn that water whatever color I want. There is orange highlighter fluid in there right now and mixed in, so we can make that red. Let's try some of these settings. And let's refresh this page so I can see how this looks. And make sure that there's no crazy nonsense. Good. All right, give me some pulses. Yes, I am haunted. I am haunted by disco fever. Alright, now one shuffles through everything. I almost like that. For the sheer fact that it is going to cause the light patterns to change inside the bottle. Alright, that, yeah, now I know. Good test. Good test. I'm probably going to end up pouring this fluid into another receptacle, just because it doesn't work with metallic powder. I really wish it did. It's a beautiful effect in the Spirit Fortune Teller ball, but you can't light it. You just can't. I could probably put fairy lights inside the clay and have them point in, but then I still have to come up with a solution to agitate the fluid continually. And that's going to be a headache, because that either means trying to contrive a magnetic spinner or trying to mount a rotating engine with a stir in the cork section of it, which, depending on where it's put in the haunt, you'll be able to hear that little motor going whirr, and that is not very immersive. Not at all. I could put a resistor on the motor and have it slow down, but now we're looking at many, many, many hours of work for something somebody's going to glance at, go, huh, look, a stirry thing, and then walk away. And in 30 years, it's all going to be augmented reality anyway. Wouldn't that be a horror for us crafters? Oh, that's divine. You still do actual physical props. Oh, that's very cheeky. All my stuff is digital. Kids come to my house with their helmets on, and they see whatever I program them to see, and I scare them out of their pants. But that's very quaint, yes. Well, thank God I won't ever live to see that happen. But imagine the effects you can do. Oh. Okay, that's set. Let's do a little bit of goobering on this face. I don't want to do a lot of goobering, otherwise I will be here for hours goobering this. I haven't talked about this technique in any of my videos so far, incidentally, but goobering, it's already been out on the web. I am by no means the first person to do it. You just take good old store cotton balls, you soak them in paper mache fluid, and then you apply them to wherever. You either pull them apart before you soak them, and tonight I am going to try giving one a dunk and then separating it after, just to see which one I prefer. Most of the things I have seen on the web have said to pull your stuff apart first, and that's what I've been doing. But let's see what the other way comes out like. Oh, now I know why these were cheap. These are tiny cotton balls. Alright, so let's pull this apart. Next time I'll go to the store and get some big cotton balls. Alright, if I want filaments, I think I'm going to dunk and separate, because I'm getting really, really good filaments on this. And by filaments, I mean the tiny strands in there. So there are tiny little hairs all over the place, and I kind of like that, and that's what I mean by filaments. And if filaments are what I want, like I want it all over my bottle, that's what I'm going to do. But I think at the moment I want goobers. And for goobers, I like to pull the cotton ball apart. Usually I'll pull a whole bunch of cotton balls apart first and then add clay to it, or paper mache paste, because trying to make goobers when your hands are already sticky from previous dunking is a risky and annoying enterprise. Yep, next time we're gonna go to the store. These are tiny little things. Oh, and I wanted to try polyester fluff. We are gonna try that too. Totally gonna try polyester fluff. See how that goobers. Let's go get a handful of polyester fluff. Be right back. Just grabbing it and squeezing it. I don't think polyester fluff is going to work as well. Try a little bit. Trying to make sure that all parts of the cotton ball got saturated. All right. Let's get his maw nice and slimy. Is it knock everything over time? Is it? Are we there? Not yet. Video playback interrupted. Please try again. I'm not worried. Stream should be going out fine from my computer in the other room. If it's not, I'm sure somebody will yell at me. I don't know if I'm going to use the stain on this. This is supposed to be kind of a yucky maw. effect. I think I'm going to start doing this between the teeth of my regular pumpkins. This is a really nice creep to them. I don't even have to go overboard with it. Alright. Curiosity answering time. Here's some polyester fluff. Oh my god, this is going to be awful. It's going to be awful. This is going to be awful. It's going to be useful for something, but it's going to be awful for this. You know what this is going to be useful for? This is going to be moss. This is like perfect tombstone moss. Oh yeah, this is awful. This is awful. No, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. So, get it in the shape you want. I dip it in mache paste, hot glue it to your tombstone, get some green paint, and water it down and dribble that in there. It should soak it up like a sponge, and that should be a cool effect. But in terms of use for this, I do not like it. It's not good for goobers. But I'm going to keep this piece kind of saturated. I'm going to leave it out. I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to see what kind of texture arises from it and what kind of solidity and firmness. I'm sure there's a use for this. Instantly, it's saying to be moss. This wants to be moss. I know I could get a lot more poly fluff for the buck than I could go out and get a bunch of fake moss. It's too bad I already spent the money on fake moss. So, alright, so we'll let those dry and see what they're like later. But now I know. No, no, no. Accept no substitutes. Poly fluff is not a cotton goober. Lean forward, buddy. We got a beautiful low. All right, circumstances. This stuff could also look like dribbling wax, but as most folks know, the standard dribbling wax technique is to grab a hot glue gun and drip stuff down the sides with the hot glue to get the melty, drippy effect. That's what we all use on our PVC candles, which I am not going to do a tutorial on because there's already a million out there and they're fine. go. Nice goobers. Okay, good. Got goobers there. Goobers there. Got goobers here. Hands are all sticky, so this is gonna. Well, let's try the other method. Come here. Ah, cotton balls. Blah. Mache paste. Blah. Cotton balls in mache paste. Blah. Add a little more. Hello, kitty cat. How are you? Alright, pretty saturated. Good. Oh, they're already coming apart. Good. Goober. Goober filler. Goober. Goober. Inside felt a little dry. Goober. Yeah, this is coming out nice. I ain't gonna lie, this is pretty cool. And of course, the greatest key here is going to be the texture. Texture is going to be key. The other thing that's nice is this stuff should absorb the waterproofing varnish pretty well, I think. Pretty well. Need kind of a flat piece here. I've seen this trick on a few Halloween channels as well. Let's see if we can replicate it. Oh, this is going to involve going into that. This is where you take your cotton ball, you splay it out, and you put it up against the sides there. You can have a big hole in the middle of it if you want, but it looks like material from inside the pumpkin is still there. We'll let that dry and see how it works. I haven't done that before. But I can tell you just now that the way to do it is to start pulling apart your cotton ball a little bit. Not too much at all. Then give it a dunk in your fluid. Really work the fluid in there, and then start giving little tugs. And that is going to turn it into a nice broad piece you can work with. If you start coming up on dry spots again in there, just give it another dunk, work the paste into the cotton ball, and just keep giving little tugs. Focus on the thickest areas, and that should open right up. Get yourself a nice gooey. But that's just a little experiment I'm doing there. I'm really mostly concerned still with these big slime channels. Still gives a hell of a good blicker on here. Just gonna affix that there. Yeah, this guy's a real slimer. It's a fun technique. Takes a while though. It's the only potential complaint I might have. If you are I make the pumpkin, I get the pumpkin done, this takes some time. There's a nice broad flat sheet. And I'll pull it apart. Get myself some nice boogers. Alright, 2 more spots I really got to cover. Let's turn that into a happy little accident. Turn that into a happy little accident. And that is exactly as I wanted it to be. Good. Alright, that's well covered. He's got a good slime maw. Needs a little dribble right there, but not a lot. Hello, cat. Just a little dribble. And a little bit more to make it stick. Together, there we go. Good. Alright, so he's got dribble there, dribble there, dribble there, thingy there. Only worry I have with this thin piece connecting the 2 jaws is that it won't stand up very well during painting, so I might add some Elmer's glue painted on, or just Elmer's glue around the joining points. Make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so I have some cotton balls left. That means we're going to enhance the eye booger effect a little bit. And these cotton balls are really good a mush when you put them into the full mache paste. Which is kind of nice. Gives you a high degree of sculptability and adds to the ooziness of the effect. I can't remember who came up with this first. It definitely was not me. Might have been Jay Olson. Or that gentleman from Unhinged Productions. This is the stage I don't like. I've got a couple of cotton balls left. Just kind of want to be done with the effect. Let's let that go right down onto the tooth. It's going to be perfect. Let's give it a buddy who's also going down there. And then the other real challenge is going to be painting. Should all these boogers be green ectoplasmic ooze. Should they be orange pumpkin innards? I'm not doing red, if that's what you're thinking. And even if somebody was thinking that, I couldn't see it because the screen's off here. I am offline. I beg to differ, sir. Though it is possible it was storming out. Half this stream could have gone to the dodo. That says I'm offline. Let's confirm. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 4:21 a.m.
I am not offline. What I am is in dire need of a fully functional tablet. Alright, just going to balance out the effect on the other side of the eye. And the melty face pumpkin here will be as done as I feel like making him with this stuff. Or what else you could do with this stuff? Makes great swampy looks. Swampy stuff, oozy stuff, melty wax, poison and rot. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to give his eye pupils here a texture with this. I think I have just enough cotton left to do it. If not, we'll grab another ball or two. I did not know if I was going to keep the pupils in this guy or not. But now we're gonna, and I'm not gonna make them boogery, but I am going to give them the cotton texture. So when he gets painted, of course you won't be able to see it during the day, or at night, but he will have a rotten soul staring out his eyes. So a great big piece. Let's do it on this one. There you go. There's a good lad. little bit more to cover up on that other side. That's right. That's a rotten soul in there. Let's make sure that the flanged cardboard edge is covered. Mostly so the varnish has something to soak into. On this side. Nice broad piece. All around that cardboard, good. There we go. That's texture. That is gonna pop when I dry brush it. Perfect. All right, a couple extra pieces of cotton. I'm not gonna fret about that. That's an achievement right there. New technique attempted. And it looks sexy. Cool. All right, lighting gone through, other stuff done. I am going to call it. This guy needs some drying time. I need to take a look at streams. I need to take a look at chats. I need to learn how to do this better. So we are all done. As usual, for the last couple streams, I'm going to waddle my arse into the other room so I can actually deactivate the stream, which is controlled by my main computer and not this tablet. Sadly, if it were controlled by the tablet, that would be a lot easier. But if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching on YouTube. If you are watching on me stream, nobody's watching me stream. I looked at the count, nobody's on here. Thank you for watching me stream. And we'll see you next time I am doing this. Have a wonderful morning, because Alexa, what time is it? She's not very chatty. Maybe we are having connectivity issues. All right. Night-night.